Walking out of the theater back in 2016 after having just seen Moana, I thought about the creators patting themselves on the back and basically saying, look, we know the way, okay? The vision is clear, it's evident, we've done the thing, you're welcome, all right? However, Moana 2, Hey everyone, this is D, Movieman, fellow cinephile, popcorn addict, and emerging film critic, coming to you with reliable recaps, reviews, and reactions. And today I'm coming to you all with my quick parking lot playback. Toot toot, beep beep. Yes, I am here officially to give you all my out of the theater thoughts / review on Moana 2, directed by David Derrick Jr., Jason Han, and Dana Ledoux Miller. As I said in my intro, the first Moana was a blast, and there was just something so distinctive and visually stunning and heartfelt and beautiful and culturally vibrant about it as well that made it feel like a classic Disney film, but for a new era. And as someone who, of course, grew up during the height of the Disney Renaissance, shout out to the 90s, you know, I'm here when Disney is able to knock it out of the park. However, as with any genre of film, getting a sequel to work is a little bit of a struggle. And a lot of times that's because from one film to the next, there are things that might change, such as the director, the writing, something as far as the music, like anything, right? And I will say, if nothing else, Moana 2 is visually, again, stunning, even more so than the last film. And of course, it's one of those films where you could watch this on mute, honestly, and just your eyes have so much to like pay attention to. It's hard to even keep up with just the striking visuals of it all. And it makes you want to be there, of course. It's just like, man, I want to take a dive in this water. Like, I want to, lay back on these beaches. I want to take some hikes up these mountains. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to watch and to see, especially on the big screen. So I have to say that was something I absolutely enjoyed. And they honestly took it to the next level this time around. There was even an aspect of the film, a particular sequence involving a storm. And even though I had already become accustomed to seeing some really striking visuals, that storm sequence was next level. I was just like, I couldn't, there were no words for it. I couldn't even take it in almost. But it was brilliantly done. I would say, like, if there was the one scene that I'd be like, yes, that's the Academy Award. That's what you really deserve for, production design, art design, cinematography, animation, all of that. That was the sequence for me. I just thought it was, I thought it was everything I needed and more. It was beautiful. And then it was also really intense, suspense-filled, action-packed scene. Really, really great. So I have to say, that was my highlight. Of course, we do have Auli'i, Cravalho, and Dwayne Johnson returning as Moana and Maui, of course. Their chemistry together, their relationship was absolutely the highlight of the first film, and it is just as solid this time around, if not more. I also loved seeing one of my favorite characters, and definitely one of my favorite sequences from the first film, the coconut pirates. So seeing them return in more than one way was really enjoyable. I also enjoyed the song Beyond. I think that was absolutely a standout. It's hard to really make an impact with songs since we got such a brilliant soundtrack the last time around, especially led by LIN-MANUEL Miranda. But I think Beyond, that was the song that absolutely jumped out to me, and I really did enjoy it. And I just think overall it is an enjoyable escapist experience. If you're just trying to have a quick escape in the theater and re-immerse yourself in this world, this is absolutely something I can say I enjoyed on that level. And I think others will enjoy, and plenty of children as well, because they are rolling in since they are officially out of school. So I already know, because I see these, this parking lot is full, okay? I know you guys can't see it, but we rolled up, it was like, oh, okay, yeah. These parents are not playing. They're like, we're gonna have our outing. These kids deserve some R&R. So yes, so I think the kids are absolutely here to have their time, and I'm totally here for that. They deserve it, especially given my own experience with school at that age. But outside of that, I have to say that Moana 2 suffers from the same issues that a lot of sequels do. And it's simply that it's very difficult for lightning to strike the same place twice, although it is possible, literally and figuratively. I won't say that's quite what happened here. As I mentioned, the visual style is stunning, gorgeous, beyond. I mean, just, there are no words for that. The story, however, was not quite given a whole lot for me. I appreciated the concept of going beyond the shores and the general homeland of Moana and her people and her community. I love the idea of that. But I think the journey, the quest itself, just didn't really have the same stakes. It wasn't as compelling. It wasn't as precarious. And it just didn't come together the same way for me this time. I would also say that the supporting characters were fairly weak for me, and I don't feel great saying it, but I thought they were kind of obnoxious. I don't think we got enough from them, and I think that we were able to enjoy so much of Moana's journey because it was just her, and it was Maui, and then of course we had the very strange chicken in the mix. We had these other characters that would pop up, but the general journey was taken by these two people. So for these other characters to come along and to not feel that they were needed, that was kind of awkward for me, because it was just like, if you're gonna bring on new characters, you have to like make them work, and I don't think they really worked for me. I was just like, no. We really needed someone else. We needed different characters, or we needed to understand more about them. It just felt like, okay, you guys are going too, let's go. And that just didn't work for me. I would also say that the music outside of Beyond, no. Listen, I absolutely give kudos to all of the songwriters who helped create that very enjoyable and immensely entertaining music and score and general songs from the first film. But it's very obvious that something was missing this time around. And it's not just something, but someone. Of course, the first time around, we had Mark Mancina, Opataya Fawai, and LIN-MANUEL Miranda. And although, if I'm going to be honest, LIN-MANUEL Miranda, I'm not quite as into him as everyone else is. It's no disrespect. I respect the talent, but I'm just like, he doesn't quite do it for me. But there is no denying his talent as a songwriter, and his influence was absolutely missed here, because every song outside of Beyond, womp, womp, womp. It wasn't memorable. It wasn't interesting. It did nothing for me. And considering that so many of those songs are earworms, like they just stay stuck with you. How Far I'll Go, We Know the Way, Shiny, my personal favorite, You're Welcome. Like, if you're going to have a second film, you have to come with something that's outstanding and at least come somewhere close to what you did the first time around. And I just don't think that happened. It just really didn't. I think that the songs are fine, but they're just not memorable, unfortunately. And it's very clear that LIN-MANUEL Miranda's influence on the page and with the pen, with the keyboard, whatever else, it was sorely needed, because it didn't do it for me. When it comes down to it, I do think Moana 2 is an enjoyable film. I don't think it's a film that anyone will find to be terrible as far as an overall experience. I don't think you'll walk out of this feeling like, oh gosh, that was a waste of time. It still very much is pulling from the things that made that first film great, But the thing is, the substance isn't quite there, and those elements are not quite on point the way they were the first time. So it feels a lot more hollow, and it feels a lot more of a style of a substance situation. And I also think that because this was meant to be a series, I think some wonkiness is also there as far as translating it and not having a more fleshed out, interesting, unique story and characters and songs to support all of this. And considering the mid-credit scene, I'm kind of interested in seeing where things go, but I think if we're going to get this third film to work, we got to have everybody back on board, because we didn't have the same directors, John Musker and Rob Clements, this time around. We had someone else writing alongside Jared Bush. Dana Ledoux Miller was co-writing this with Jared Bush, and it's very clear that the overall vision was compromised somewhat, and it just didn't deliver the way I thought it would. Still enjoyable, still pleasant, but just not nearly close, not close at all to bringing what the first film did, unfortunately. So, once again, this is D, Movie Man, signing off, and I'll see you at the movie.